right? Her ex-husband walks out of the house. She's panicking as she's telling us about this on the air. And then a woman walks out of the house that is significantly younger than her husband. And Annabelle identifies her as the woman that is the babysitter of their kids. So clearly he's been having a relationship. So she's all strung out yesterday when she leaves the show, and we're like, don't do anything until like 3 or 4 o'clock when you're calmed down, because you're only going to make this thing worse. And maybe this could be the springboard for something better here, right? Did I get all that?
You nailed it.
I think I nailed
You
that
did forget the slutmobile that she drives.
Oh, that's right.
She drives a convertible BMW. What? How does she pay for it with a babysitter salary? We have a lot of questions to answer.
Oh, and I think it was important too that when the woman walked out of the house, she locked the door with a key, and we could only assume that not only is he dating somebody, not only is this woman spending the night, he is also giving this woman a key.
I'll tell you, it is the most difficult thing to do, to have the discipline to say, I am not going to shoot this text off right now, because you have this internal argument.
I'm glad you said text. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Oh, yeah. And you said, Andre, you got to be careful.
Seriously, you said, I'm not going to shoot, and then you paused, and I'm like, where are you going?
I'm afraid.
There's this internal battle that goes on, like, I'm so heated, my fingers are doing things that I know that my mind doesn't want to do, right?
Sure.
And you have to try to hold that off for 5 or 6 hours is very difficult. So let's see if Annabelle was capable of that yesterday. Hey, Annabelle, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so how did this all play out? When we left you yesterday, you were still across the street, sort of in a panic, because now you know what the truth is. So what did you do after that?
Yeah, well, I just want to start off with an apology to you and your listeners. I know everyone was advising me to leave and to go home, and I didn't, and I was such an asshole, and I'm so sorry about that. You guys were so great yesterday, and I was not in my right mind.
No apology necessary. When you're in the heat of something like that, man, you're not. I mean, it's truly what's the word? Insanity. I mean,
we've all been there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, momentary insanity.
Momentary insanity. That's what I was looking for. But no apology needed. So what happened?
Yeah, so after I witnessed Kara leaving the house, and after I got off the phone with you guys, I headed back home and I cooled off. And then I did my first phone call was to my best friend, who I've known since first grade. And I needed to call her because I just needed someone to have my back who knows me unconditionally, knows the ins and outs of my divorce and my relationship with my ex. And I felt so empowered and calm and in control after talking to her.
You just needed to feel like you had somebody on your team.
Yeah. Okay. And that I just wasn't alone and crazy and everybody was plotting against me. So it was great to talk to her. And then I did a deep dive on Google and about modifying the child custody agreements. And apparently, according to the internet, you can modify a child custody agreement if there's been I think it was called a material change in circumstances since the original order was issued. And
a woman living in his house would be that change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the change, if the change significantly impacts the child's well-being or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did a deep dive on all of that.
So with that info, and you sound like a completely different person today.
It's amazing what 24 hours can do for a person.
She just took her meds this morning.
You gotta sleep on it sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta sleep on it, right? You do.
No, sometimes you need a Xanny.
So let's embrace that first. And secondly, for doing the research on it also. So what are you going to do with this info now? Are you going to call him? Do you go through attorneys to do this? What do you do now?
Well, I wanted to make sure it said on the internet, make sure everything's in writing. So I sent him this long, I sent my ex a long email last night. It was calm. It was calm, don't worry. But a long email, rather than talk to him in person, confront him in person. Even though I did consider talking to him in person and secretly recording it, but I was no, I've had enough psycho for the year, and it's only January.
Got it out the way early.
There's only so much psycho you can fit into 1 year.
Yeah, let alone 1 month.
Well, I'm not really sure to go with this except to ask you to keep us posted on it. And you really do sound like a completely different person. And the internet can be used for good. And believe it or not.
Good for you, Annabelle, because I didn't have a lot of faith in you yesterday.
None of us did.
Jeez, Mo.
I'm just saying, I'm proud of her.
None of us did. None of us did. Good luck. Look, this is the most important thing that you can do in your life. You know this, Annabelle, is have a working relationship with your ex-husband for the good of your kids, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks.
Man, you did sound like a totally different person today, man.
You need that sleep.
The Bert Show.